Today we are looking at how outliers affect a set of data. Please copy down the standard benchmark indicator at the top of the clean page in your math notebook. The student will determine how outliers affect a set of data. You can pause the video here to allow yourself more time to write down the SBI. The effects of outliers. An outlier is a number in the data set that is very different from the rest of the data. Outliers can have a very big effect on the mean or the average. Example, find the mean, median, and mode with and without the outlier for this set of data about the number of days 6 people exercised in 1 month. 4 days, 23 days, 21 days, 22 days, 21 days, and 23 days. First, identify the outlier. Since most of the data is in the low 20s, the outlier of the data set is 4. Next, find the mean of the data set. So they added 4 plus 23 plus 21 plus 22 plus 21 plus 23 equals 114. 114 divided by 6 equals 19. So the average or the mean is 19. Then they did the mean again, but this time without the outlier. So they added 23 plus 21 plus 22 plus 21 plus 23 equals 110. And this time we're only dividing by 5 because we've removed one of the data points. So 110 divided by 5 is 22. So you can see the difference is a difference of 3 between doing the mean with the outlier and without the outlier. Next, they want to find the median of the data set. In this case, you have to put everything in order from least to greatest. And then they went through and they found the 2 middle ones, 21 and 22. They added them together and then divided in half to get 21.5. Without the outlier, you just remove one of the data points, so now we have an odd number of data points. And in this case, 22 is the median because it's right in the middle of the data set. Finally, find the mode of the data set. The modes are 21 and 23 because those are the 2 numbers that show up the most often. Without the outlier of 4, the modes remain the same. That has not changed at all. Try it. Find the mean, median, mode with and without outliers for this set of data. 450, 420, 435, 450, 5,500, 440, 425, 460. So the first step is to identify our outlier. In this case, that's 5,500 because all of the other numbers are in the 400s. Next, we're going to start by finding the means. We're going to add up all of the data points here. So, 450, 420, 435, 450, 5,500, 440, 425, and 460. So as we add here in our 1 column, 5 plus 5 is 10, so we put the 0 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11, plus 5 is 16, plus 4 is 20, plus 2 is 22, plus 6 is 28. Two plus 4 is 6, plus 4 is 10, plus 4 is 14, plus 4 is 18, plus 5 is 23, plus 4 is 27, plus 4 is 31, and plus 4 is 35. And 3 plus 5 is 8. So we have 8,580 as our total. Now we need to divide it by 8 because we have 8 data points. So 8 goes into 8 once. And then we bring down the 5 8 cannot go into 5, so we need to put a 0 up above, and then bring down an 8 next to it. 8 goes into 58 7 times. Subtract 56. Bring down the 0. 8 goes into 20 twice. Then we're going to add a decimal point and another 0 so we can get a complete answer. Bring the 0 down. 8 goes into 45 times. So our mean with the outlier is 1,072 and 5/10. Without the outlier, we're going to find the mean again. So in this case, we know the total with the mean is 8,580. To find the total without the outlier, the easiest thing to do is just subtract the outlier out of that total. So our total without the outlier is 3,080. This time we're going to divide that by 7 because we only have 7 data points because we've taken the outlier out. We know 7 can go into 30 4 times. Bring down the 8, 7 goes into 20 4 times. And 7 goes into 0 0 times. So without the outlier, our average or our mean is only 440. So as you can see on this one, having an outlier has a really big effect on finding the mean. Next, we're going to find the median with and without the outlier. The first thing we have to do is write all of the data points in order from least to greatest. So our order is going to be 420, 425, 435, 440, 450 is going to get written twice because we have a 2 in the data set. Then 460, and then 5,500. Since we have 8 data points and 8 is an even number, we need to find the 2 in the middle, which are 440 and 450. And we're going to add them together and then divide in half to find the median. So we get 890 when we add them together. Now we're going to divide in half to find the midpoint of the data. 2 goes into 8 4 times. 2 goes into 9 4 times. Bring down the 0, we get 10. 2 goes into 10 5 times. So with the outlier, our median is 445. Next, to find it without the outlier, we're just going to erase the outlier from the end. And now we have an odd number of data points. So now all we have to do is count and find the one in the middle. In this case, it's 440. Next, we're going to find the mode with the outlier. So we're going to add 5,500 back on the end of our list here. And the mode is simply the number that shows up most often in the data set. In this case, we have 450 twice, and every other number once. So our outlier is 450. Then to find the mode without the outlier, we're just going to erase 5,500 from the end again. And then we look and our mode is still 450 because that's still the one that shows up with us. So as you can see, the outlier has the greatest effect on the mean. The median is only off by 5, and the mode is exactly the same with or without the outlier. But the mean has a much, much bigger gap between with the outlier and without the outlier. So please make sure you have all the work copied down and glue this paper in your math notebook.